All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Tuesday morning. 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 All right, y'all. We are live on this beautiful Tuesday morning. Shalom to everybody who says shalom. And if you don't say shalom, well, then hello. How you doing? Glad to meet you. Glad you could be here. Blessings to everybody in the name of Yeshua, the name of Jesus, the Messiah. I do pray that all of you are blessed. And today we are going to talk about the important level that Bitcoin is currently coming up to and testing right now. Now, yesterday in the stream, we talked about the fact that Bitcoin, for the very first time since May 12th, is trading above the daily 21 EMA. And actually, let me come over here and just switch off some of these drawings that I've drawn on my chart, because I am an artist, as many of you do know. When it comes to drawing on TradingView, personally, I think I'm quite talented. I know some people may disagree, but I do think I'm a very talented artist. And so we were talking about how for the first time since May 12th, Bitcoin is trading above that 21 EMA on the daily time frame. Now, I think this is very significant because when we are trading above the 21 EMA on the daily, it usually means we are in somewhat of an uptrend, and the 21 is acting as our support. And when we're trading below it, it's acting as our resistance. And case in point is right here. A few days ago, last week, I remember I gave a little alert that we were coming up to this resistance right here. There's some confluence here, but look at how we so clearly rejected off of this 21 EMA right here with that purple candle. And so it's important to remember that right now this 21 EMA is acting as a dynamic level of support, but we are still trading above it, which I think is quite bullish. When we look at Market Cipher B, we have a momentum wave printing above that zero line for the first time, again, since May 12th, okay? Since May 12th. Also, we can start to see money flow on the daily time frame, slightly curving to the upside. When we come to the 12-hour time frame, the money flow is curving to the upside. Of course, we can see on the daily and the 12-hour that momentum is starting to form somewhat of a top. We come to the 6-hour time frame, we can see that we recently did print a top on Market Cipher B. Come to the 4-hour time frame, a few candles ago, about 4 candles ago, we did print this top here. And so one of two things can happen. Either we can get another surge of momentum. We might do something similar to, let's see if we can find a good example in the past where we red dot, green dot, right? Where we play red dot, green dot. Something like this, where we start playing that game, red dot, green dot, where we red dot, green dot all over the place. We're green dotting down the street, red dotting up, and we continue with the upward movement, or we could just play a nice game of red dot only. If any of you guys are familiar with the game red dot only, that means we print the red dot and we come down quite some time. So right now I'm just looking at the Market Cipher to kind of gauge where we are heading. It's important to notice that on the 4-hour we did get the money flow crossover quite some time ago. And if we go look at the 2-hour, we can see that we do have the money flow quite thick in the blue. Now, of course, we're still trading within our range that we've been watching now for quite some time. But let's bring in some trend lines, mark some levels. What I want to do is I want to mark out some key areas that we should be looking at to determine which way we should be trading this, because clearly right now, for the past some amount of time, right? since about, I guess you could say, May 18th, when we lost the $42,000 level, right? We lost that $42,000 level, and we've been trading within this sideways range now for many weeks, and we've really had to kind of switch up our strategy here to in a more range-bound sideways market. But what I want to do is talk about, what are some important areas to watch, because there are some very crucial resistances where if we break above, we will see higher levels, and there are some crucial supports. If we break below, we will also see lower levels. So first of all, we were trading in this kind of pattern here where we had this trend line of resistance. We had this trend line of resistance that we could have drawn something like this, give or take. And of course, we also had it down here where we could have almost was starting to form a descending triangle. But of course, we broke out of there. And now it also has the potential that we are forming some kind of pattern like this, some kind of a channel or a wedge where, we might now be trading in between these two trend lines right here. Okay, so these are some important things to keep our eyes on. But even more so recently, we've been trading in this, what I would consider to be, where is it now? Aha, here, right here. If we zoom in to the 1 hour and we take a close look, it actually looks like we've been trading inside of this symmetrical triangle right here, where really we come up to the high, we come to the low, we come to the high, we come to the low. What's going to happen now? Are we going to come up to the high? I don't know. And I think we can say that these levels have been respected. In fact, yesterday we shorted from right up here. And the reason we shorted from here is not because we saw the triangle forming, but the reason we shorted from there is because that level, that $40,600 level, give or take, is actually a very important daily level of resistance. It's a very important daily level of resistance. If I turn on my support and resistance lines right here, we can see that this level has been marked out as a resistance for quite some time. Because if we go to the 4 hour, we can see, boom, we come up and wick up here. It was acting as our resistance all up here. We can even go back in time to the month of January, where we see this level being respected, and then again in the month of February. Okay, so this was a very important level, and we took the short off of there yesterday in the Discord. Actually, how did that short go? That short went pretty well. 14.46%. I ended up closing it out because we kept printing higher highs, but in the Discord yesterday, I posted some levels that I was looking to short off of, and I even said, hey, I said, I'm in a small short here from 40.6. The reason why that level was such a good level to short is because if we do look at Market Cipher, on the smaller time frames, maybe the 6 minute, when we're coming up to this level, right, we can see the bearish divergences starting to print here, where the momentum is making lower highs and the price is making higher highs. It's actually even more clear if we go down to a 3 minute time frame, where we can just so clearly see the price coming up while momentum is simultaneously coming down. And so that was a pretty nice short, and it's just so interesting to see that we came down. Where did we come down to? We came down to a maybe I'm losing my mind, guys. Maybe I'm losing my I'm not losing my mind. I'm not losing my mind at all. We came down and we hit this old value area high right here, and this acted as our support. And then once we started to get the bounce off of here, I took profits down here, closed the rest of the trade out here. But that was a pretty nice trade. And again, guys, if this is something that you want to learn, if you want to learn how to mark these levels, how to get these levels, how to find these trade entries, check out jasoncaspertrading.com. the comprehensive trading course to give you the knowledge and the skills that you need to become a confident, profitable trader. Check out the testimonials. Check out the outline of the course if this is something you're into. Check it out. If we can, guys, if we can get this video up to 500 likes, I will drop the juice, okay? I will drop the juice of a discount in the chat here. And as usual, if we can get this video, guys, to 1,000 likes, I think it's possible. If everyone goes and tells their mom, right? You know what? I could even share this on Twitter. I could share it on Twitter, right? Boom. Share it on Twitter. If everyone goes and tells their mom, hey, mom, go like Jason Casper's stream right now. We can get this up to 1,000 likes. I will give away 0.025 BTC. If we can get 3,000 likes on a stream, 0.1 Bitcoin, I will give away live on the stream. Shout out to Super Googly dropping the super chat. So how to survive in the woods is short from 40K. We'll see. We'll see. Crypto Yacht is long on the like button. Yeah, should we pull out the fib? Should we pull out the fib? Yeah, I'm sure that we will pull out the fib at some point. But I guess I'm digressing. I am digressing. So anyway, the short from up here, we came down to the value area high, the old value area high. The reason it's the old value area high is because we were trading. If we take a look here, I guess we have to go to a larger time frame to see it. But we were trading in this range right here. Let's see. Let me turn this thing off. This is a little bit sloppy, right, guys? A little bit. So we were trading in this range here. This is a fixed range that I pulled, and this was the high of the range. And so you could see that this value area high of the range, once we broke out of that range, it now acted as our support, and so we got the nice little bounce off of that thing, which was pretty nice. So what are we looking at right now? Well, personally, the way I kind of see this is if we are able to break above this 40.6 level. And when I say break above, people are like, well, what do you mean? Do you mean like just close a candle above it? Do you mean price comes above it? Well, what I would like to see, okay, what I would like to see if you are going to try and take a long up to the next level of resistance is I'd like to see we come up above the level and then retest that level to confirm that what used to be resistance is now support. And if that happens, it's called an SR flip, right? We flip this resistance, boom, into support, kapam. Then what you can do is you can actually enter a long if we get the retest, which is showing us now this resistance is support. And, it doesn't really matter what time frame you're doing that on. Obviously, if we're looking at the 6 minute, if we see on the 6 minute something like this where we come up, we come down and we retest it, kind of trade here for a while and then come back up. That to me is a surefire sign that this is now our support. A little bit more risky if you're on if you just get one candle and we wick down and come back up. That's a great way to do it. But right now, this $40,000 region, this daily support, we could see this is a strong, resistance. This is a strong area of resistance. Then the next level I'm looking at after that is this $42.2 thousand area. This is another important level of resistance. And if we go to the weekly time frame, and we just put on our favorite indicator in the world, which is ribbon 5 on Market Cipher B, aka the 21 EMA, we can see that we have some very significant confluence here, right? So between 42 and 43K, right here where we have the 21 EMA on the weekly, and we have this this high. And remember, the reason this 42K level is so significant is because this was the all-time high back in January when we were trading within these two important levels, right? And so now that Elon Musk sent us up to the moon, and we're chilling up in outer space on the ISS in the Tesla car, orbiting the Earth up there. You know, now that we've come back down below into the Earth's atmosphere again, we are back in that same exact range. If you notice, we're just trading level to level like floors on a house. Okay, if you pronounce it house, some people pronounce it hoose. Okay, like, hey man, you want to come over to my hoose? Yes, I do want to come to your hoose. So this is extremely important, and I'm persuaded that if we are able to come up above this level, we're going to see higher levels. We're going to see higher levels. And I do have my levels marked out. The ones I'm looking to trade, they are in the Jason Casper private Discord. I'm putting my levels in there now, updating as often as I update them. In order to access that, you can go to patreon.com/Jason Casper. So let me zoom back in. And so if we're trading this thing as a triangle, if we do break above this triangle right here, and you know, if we break above the triangle, we're also breaking above that daily level of support and resistance, right? We're breaking above that level of support and resistance as well. Let me put on all these other lines. I got lines all over the place. I've got lines all over the place. Yeah, they are all over the place. So you can see that there's confluence right here. We've got the triangle. We've got the daily level of approximately $40,600, or if you want to get extremely precise, $40,635.50. And wow, would you look at this though? You know, now that I am looking at this a little bit more intently here, it is quite interesting to see that potentially, even if we break out of the triangle, we could run into some resistance at this trend line. But if we are to break above this daily level, I'm really looking for us to come to this high, this absolute high right here of the range, which would act, in my mind, as some serious resistance. And remember, it's not a line as much as it is a zone. And the reason for that is because we do have that 21 EMA, which is chilling kind of up in this area. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see us coming into the box. We come above this, we come into the box, and then if we now lose this important area of resistance, support, right? If we come above it and then we lose it, that to me is a very strong signal that we are going to come back down to some lower levels. And if that happens, what levels am I expecting us to come back down to? Well, obviously, we just go in reverse of what we did on the way up. So the first stop would be maybe right here, 40.6. Then perhaps this area right here, which is a previous area of support and resistance. We can see just all the times that this zone of support and resistance was tested. And then we would work our way down from there. However, I'm still long on Bitcoin. I'm long from 31,180 something dollars. Okay, let me see if I can even find that trade now. Right here, this was it yesterday, from $31,190.01, and I've since added to this long position. I've added to the long position, so it's no longer 206%. My entry is no longer this low, but I've still just added contracts to that position because overall, I am bullish on Bitcoin overall, because of all the reasons we talked about in the beginning of the stream, where the daily, the 12-hour are all looking quite bullish. Obviously, we need to consolidate a little bit, and we don't know if we're going to play red dot, green dot, and continue up higher. But if we do come down, I'm not expecting us to come down too far. So we come back to my chart here with lots of levels. And the lowest that I would expect us to come down, if we put on, got some trend lines here. Here we go. I mean, I could see us coming back down to test this trend line right here. I think like maybe 37 is the the lowest that I would expect us to come right now. And if we, you know, this, one of the reasons why I like to trade level to level is because when it comes to whether or not we're going to play red dot, green dot, or whether or not we are going to, you know, go to the moon or not, these levels that we mark on our chart, they give us the checkpoints. Okay, these are the checkpoints that allow us to trade. So, you know, when we're coming up to this $40,000 level, although I think, yeah, we're bullish and we're going to continue to go up, I'm still looking for a short here. And if we do lose this triangle and we come down to these lower levels down here, well, I'm still looking to enter longs here, or at least add to my long position. And if we lose certain levels, then I know to exit out of my long positions, because, you know, the way I trade is I'm not just using the levels alone. I'm not just using Market Cipher alone. I'm using a combination, because Market Cipher is going to tell us, you know, which way the momentum is forming here. If we go to the 1 hour, it is looking like we're about to print a nice trigger wave right here, which could potentially really move us up. If the 1 hour starts to print the trigger wave right here, that will follow through onto the 2 hour, which will come up and print one here. And then the same thing will happen on the 3 hour, and the same thing will happen on the 4 hour. If we take a look at the 3 and the 4 hour, we can kind of see, especially on the 4 hour, money flow is getting thicker, and it is very possible we could start to play red dot, green dot in the 4 hour, where we do something like this here, where we get the red dot, but then we print another green dot, which pushes us up even higher. And wow, when we zoom out, we can really see how sideways we've been trading here. But to sum up everything, Bitcoin can either go up, it can either go down. This triangle right here is going to be one of the key things to look at in my mind as to whether or not we're going to go up or go down. And this triangle is basically contained by this old value area high at about 39,668, and then this daily level at 40,600. So these two lines right now are acting as the ceiling and the floor. If we come above that 40,600, then I do believe we're going to come up to 42. If we lose this value area high, we're going to come back into the old range. And that old range, guys, you know, technically that old range is from 39,650 all the way down to 35K. So, you know, keep in mind, if we lose this support, we really could come back down to 35K. We do have the point of control at around 36.8. Which is probably a little higher now. In fact, yeah, let me adjust this. Let me adjust this range right here. Let me adjust it. This is going to give us new value area highs and stuff, but it's significant that we keep the old value area high on the chart. But if I just drag this thing now all the way to where we're at, let's see. Okay, we do still have. Actually, we still have the same value area high. We have a slightly different value area low, and our point of control is still the same. So you know, if we lose, I know this is sloppy, guys, and I apologize. If we lose this level right here of, you know, 39.6, then it's very likely we could come back down to the point of control at about 36.8. So, you know, if we start. If we don't play red dot, green dot, and we just play red dot, it's very possible we come down here, we get a bounce off of the point of control, which is also the retest of this trend line. So keep that in mind. The point of control of this range is also the trend line that we broke out of, which would give us the retest of the trend line. It would also give us a bounce off the point of control, and in my mind, that would give us a really good long position from about, you know, 36.8, give or take, right there. So that's kind of what I'm looking at for the Bitcoins right now. So let me turn off all this stuff here. I'm going to turn off all the stuff. And I'm going to drop into the chat real quick just to see if there's anything cool going on in here. Guys, if we can get this video up to 500 likes, I will drop a juicy discount in the description of the video. And when I say description, I mean the chat. Brian H says the 50 and the 200 EMA getting close to crossing. Well, I guess that would be the end of Bitcoin forever. Yeah, so okay, so people are asking about Ethereum. Cam Young, connect with one of the mods in the Discord and they can help you out with that. Yeah, Ethereum. Kanav wants to know about Ethereum. Super Doge wants to know, am I bullish for Bitcoin by the end of 100? What's the end of 100? I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about Ethereum, guys. And everybody knows why I call Ethereum. The reason is because you guys know that when you're trying to talk to somebody who doesn't know anything about cryptocurrency, you usually say, hey, are you into Bitcoin at all? Are you into crypto? You say, are you into crypto? And they're like, what's that? You're like, oh, like Bitcoin. They're like, I've heard people talk about it, but I don't really know what it is, You're like, okay, well, here's what you need to do. You need to go to Coinbase.com and get yourself some Bitcoin, okay? Don't ask questions, just go do it. And once you do that, then I'll tell you the rest. I'll fill in all the gaps, okay? You're going to have lots of questions. And you tell them, you don't even tell them about Ethereum. You don't tell them about anything else. You just tell them to go get some Bitcoin, right? And they come back to you maybe the next day. You're like, hey, did you go to Coinbase.com? They're like, yeah, I did. And they're like, hey, did you know that there's other coins out there? There's other. I saw this thing on, what was it called? Ethereum. Did you ever hear of Ethereum? They'll ask you. So I have just started calling it Ethereum because it helps those people that don't really know much about the cryptocurrency world to speak their language, if you know what I'm saying. And people are talking about the EMAs being past tense and the death cross. Here's the thing about that, guys. EMAs are a powerful tool in my mind for dynamic support and resistance. I trade them quite often, especially bounces. People know I will enter a long or short based pretty much on a bounce off an EMA, especially on the 4-hour for Bitcoin. And when it comes to the crosses, though, we have to remember that they are delayed. They are absolutely delayed. So if we turn on, for example, my two favorite EMAs, let me turn off this fixed range here, though, because I think that is causing us a little bit of trouble here. And let me remove this as well. Boop. I have two favorite trend lines. That is the 21 and the 55 EMA. And if you're using these moving averages, guys, it's imperative that you make the 21 blue and that you make the 55 purple. Okay, any other color is definitely not going to work out for you. So there you go. Not financial advice. And by the way, guys, none of this is financial advice. In fact, if you do mistake this for financial advice, not only will you lose all your crypto, but you will lose everything that you find valuable in your life. So remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. But here's the thing. When we look at EMA crosses, okay, like right here, people like to say, and it goes for the 50 and the 200 or the 21 and the 55, they're great for determining trend, but people who want to long and short based off these crosses, keep in mind, look at how delayed this is. By the time you know that these things crossed, we're already down here, okay? I know this is not the 200 and the 50, but we have this massive dump, and by the time you know that they're officially crossed, we're literally at a bottom, and if you short here, well, then you're going to come up all this way, okay? So the EMA crosses, they are extremely delayed, and we wouldn't know in hindsight if this was the bottom or not. We might have just kept on going up, and it's also, important to realize that although EMAs are great tools to determine trend, they're also quite delayed. They are also quite delayed, especially if we're just going to trade only with EMA crossovers or moving average crossovers. Has its time and its place. It's a tool in your toolbox, but definitely don't rely only on EMA crossovers. Especially if Bitcoin is getting a death cross, it's not something to ignore, but it is something that we can't just say because the death cross happened that the bull market is officially over. We can't say that. We might be on our way upward. We're seeing momentum come back into the markets here. We are seeing momentum come back into the markets. So this is Ethereum on the chart right now, and let me unlock these trend lines here, because really the same thing that goes for Bitcoin really goes for Ethereum. In fact, I would say that 85% of the time, if you are able to enter a position on if you're able to enter a position on Bitcoin, you could probably enter a similar position on Ethereum, right? You could probably do that. These are the levels that I have going on for Ethereum. And for me, right now, the most important level that I think we need to come above for Ethereum is the high of the range, which is about 29,000. Sorry, I'm used to Bitcoin. $2,952.35. That's quite a lot higher. That's quite a lot higher than the level that we were looking at with Bitcoin. And we could still say that Ethereum is coiling up into a symmetrical triangle for now. The immediate support and resistance levels are this daily level right here at 2,517.85, and then the resistance would be, we got a local point of control, and we have a high volume node up here, which gives us some confluence with the trend line that we've been trading in as our resistance. So really for me, until Ethereum can break out of this, and really until it can break out of this, then we still just need to treat this like a sideways market here, and look for longs and shorts on the top, on the highs, look for shorts on the lows, look for longs. And one of the ways we can do that is because we can't just do a stream without pulling out the fib. But one of the ways we can determine our levels is just because we're coiling up in a triangle, we can take our fib from the highs to the lows. And would you look at that, guys? Look at this. Would you look at that? We did get a rejection right off the golden ratio. And not only did we get a rejection off the golden ratio, but we also did get a rejection off the 0.5 fib level. The fib is a great way to trade sideways markets. If you're using your fib and you're using Market Cipher together, it's a great tool. The fib can be resistance on the way up and support on the way down. So if you have a low and a high put in, you can pull your fib from. If you have a very clearly defined low and a very clearly defined high, you can pull your fib from the low to the high to get levels of support, okay? And one of the most common areas to get a bounce is the 382, the 0.5, and the 618. You could see we did get a bounce off the 618 right here. Ethereum is moving nicely, and if we pull it from a high to a low, then we're getting levels of resistance from which we can short. And some of the most common areas to look for a short, it would be the 382, the 0.5, and the 618. Between the 618 and the 0.65, the golden ratio. And guys, if you want to learn Fibonacci in more detail, I do recommend you check out jasoncaspertrading.com, because we do go through this in quite some detail. Everybody knows one of my favorite things to trade is Fibonacci levels, and looking at Fibonacci as support and resistance levels, finding confluence with Market Cipher. There's always plenty of opportunity to enter into some good trades here. Absolutely, 100%. But it is important, if you see yourself in a symmetrical triangle like this, that you're pulling the fib from the highs to the lows. Because price is never just going to move in straight lines, like up and down like this. It's going to go up a little and down and up a little and down and up and down, and we can find little pivots, right? We can find little pivots like the little pivot right here where we came down a little bit, just because we pulled out our fib. But if we go to the weekly time frame on Market Cipher for Ethereum, the VWAP is still pointing up. It's still slightly erect on the daily. We got anchor triggers printing. Of course, money flow is, coming down, but I do think we can see the money flow curving to the upside here. We're printing a wave above the zero line. Still, I do believe that we will see more upward movement for Bitcoin and Ethereum, at least. This is just my opinion, guys. Remember, this is not in any means financial advice, but I do think we will see Bitcoin come up to either 48K or even 51K. And if we can come above 51K, I do think the bull market is absolutely going to continue. But if not, I think we'll get a massive rejection, and we could probably short 51K all the way down to the Netherlands. Okay, the Netherlands is right next to Iceland and Greenland and Swaziland and New Swaziland. And Iceland, did I say Iceland? What other lands are there? I know I'm missing some, right? Yeah, I'm missing some lands, okay? I am missing the lands, guys. I'm missing them. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, got my trades open. This is my Bitcoin long still from 31K is only up 15% because guys, wow, look at this. Wow. Live on the stream, we got a green dot on Market Cipher B on the 1 hour. It looks like we're going to Pump City, right? Looks like it, but who knows? Let's go to a lower time frame and see what we can see here. Looks like we're getting a very clear bearish divergence on the 3 minute. We'll see how this plays out, guys. We'll see how this plays out. Let me drop back into the chat here. Can we get the 500 likes so I can give away a juicy Finland? Thank you, Super Good. How could I forget Finland? Finland one. Oh, England. Yes, Fraser Rhodes. Thank you. Switzerland. Yeah, the Harrison clan. You know what? I'm really bad at geometry, and so I don't know the names of countries, right? Because my geometry game is weak. Yes, Disneyland as well, and Greenland. I think I said Greenland. Yeah. So, yeah, let's. How's Lil Fib? People are asking how Lil Fib is doing. Lil Fib Casper, my new Bitcoin son. Lil Fib Casper, he was born a few days ago, and yep, he is gonna be one of them. He's gonna be one of them country / hip hop artists. All right, just like who was that guy? That guy who had a famous song. It was a country song, but he was like a rapper. I don't know. I ain't pay attention to none of that culture stuff, right, y'all? Y'all on the cult. Super Googly says, I mean geography. No, I meant geometry. No, I meant geometry. Okay, guys. Yeah, let's. I have to head out of here kind of soon. Shout out to Annabelle from Puerto Rico. Yeah, there you go, Crypto Yacht. Crypto Yacht knows this guy right here. This guy, interesting guy, very interesting, very interesting. Kate says, Death Cross, low volume, massive shorts volume this week. I guess this all means we are going to the moon. Yeah, Kate he's being facetious. Facetious. A little sarcasm there. Yeah, yep, Action Camera, he will sing Scared Money, but he'll do it in a southern accent. Yeah. In a southern accent. And, shout out to Ms. Shannon. Shout out to Bill Hyde, the DIY guy, who says hidden bearish div, ADA, 4 hour. Yeah, I have to head out of here, guys, in like 5 minutes. But I do want to give a discount if we can just get the vid. If we can get this vid, y'all know, if we can get this video to 500 likes, I'll drop a discount. And I do want to give the Bitcoin. I want to give away Bitcoin so bad, guys. I want to give away 0.1 Bitcoin on stream. I don't know if it's possible these days because I don't know. I'm just not getting as many viewers as I used to, which is totally cool, right? Because like keep it tight knit, you know, we keep it tight knit around these parts. But yeah. But actually, there is still a discount if anybody has not gotten the course yet and they want to, which I feel like is not very many people. There's still a discount. Actually, you know what? The Big Butts 28 discount is still in effect because it wasn't a time-based thing. It was a there was a certain number of times it could be used. So if you use this discount, you can get 28% off. Happy birthday, Big Butts 28. And also, guys, I'm going to start doing small group topical mini courses. I'm going to start doing small group topical mini courses. So if anybody wants to, where you'll be able to ask questions on a specific topic, like whether it be Fibonacci, whether it be how to get support and resistance levels, all these types of things, whether it be Market Cipher, I'm going to start doing that, and you'll be able to sign up, and there'll be like different topics 3 times a week. So yeah. But DC, I'm actually fixing that as ASAP. Yeah, it's still a 28% discount, but yeah, but that coupon right there is it only has a few more times left to be used. Yeah. But Fraser Rhodes says, "Hope I'm happy outside of YouTube." Thank you, Fraser. I'm a pretty happy guy. I'm just out here living on a homestead, producing fruit to the best of my abilities, both physical and spiritual, with the help of the Lord. And that being said, Jason Robertson. Yeah, I should do that, right? Yeah, with that being said, guys, receive this blessing. Receive this blessing. The purpose of this blessing is to place the name of the Creator of heaven and earth upon you, to bless you. And in the Hebrew language, it's Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, which means in English, may the Lord bless you and guard you, protect you, keep you. May He cause His face to shine light upon you. May He have grace upon you. And may the Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you wholeness and peace in the name of Jesus, the Messiah, the God of Israel. Amen. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. Hope you guys have a great day. Peace, peace.